Guess what you get today? You get the phone camera because I'm too lazy and tired to fuck with the other one. I've been up all night working. And I'm stopped here on my way home because I wanted to record a video. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be recording my next podcast episode right after this. I was at work going over the notes for the podcast, and it's my foster care file. Right about when I started doing the greatest cry ever, I was like, God dang, this is heavy. So I thought I would keep it light with the vlog. There is a story I could tell. It's really interesting that it just came to me recently because I haven't really told many people about it, and it's like the best thing that happened, like the only gift of 2020. So I'll talk about it. A lot of people who follow me like in real life, who know me in real life, but also some people who like follow me online know about my very close bond with my cat Flemith. I got him when I was depressed, and he was a little tiny floof. He was my life. I think it was 2015 when I got him, right when I moved back from Sweden. He grew up just with me, like I was the only... I found him on like a classified ads, and he was a birthday present to somebody's dad, but the dad didn't want him. And I was like, okay, that guy's a terrible person. When I went to get him, he was too little to be separated from his mom, so had trauma from birth. And then when he was about a year old, right after I started the job I have now, he almost died. He had like a congenital, basically a birth defect in his heart. The vet had to do emergency surgery. It was nightmarish for me. It was the most sad thing I've gone through. I don't know how to explain it. He's a part of my family, and I thought he was going to die, and he didn't. We got his surgery, and he's been fine ever since, and I have loved him. So 2020, the world's ending. My dad had died in April. God knows what happened in May, but I'm sure something terrible happened in May. And then in June 26th, we were waking up on a Friday or Saturday. It was a day I had off. The window was open. One of our windows downstairs was just a little bit cracked to let some fresh air in, and I heard this like sound, and I just knew immediately. I was like, Flemith like pushed the window open and got outside. Alan didn't believe me, and he's like, I'm sure he's fine. And I remember the like surge of panic, and I was like, he's gone forever. He's just gone. Nobody saw him leave, and basically we learned that he had left and that I was right on my instinct due to not seeing him that whole day. Me and Ender got out and started walking up and down the roads, up and down the streets. I looked on all the message boards, posted on all the apps. 2 days, nothing. I spent so long looking for him, and I was so upset because, we live in a suburb. There's two very busy roads right next to our house, and a lot of neighbors with dogs. And not to be rude, Utahns, but you guys are kind of dicks to people's pets. Like, I didn't have high hopes. And I remember that first week, every night when I would leave to go to work, I would look outside and I would hope that it was him. And he never was there. We started setting out food, and we had other cats come up, and it was a really good crazy cat lady story is, we had a little, like a camera that you could make sound through. Alan set out some cat food and the camera next to it so I could watch from work, because I'm at work all night, so I could look at my phone and see if Flemith was there. And these other stray cats came along and were eating the food, and I would like one-way talk through the camera, and I'm like, get away from there. And then I started talking to those cats because I was like, where's Flemith? Help me. And about a week after he left, it was the 4th of July. A fun fact about me, I hate the 4th of July. It's just an excuse for everybody to get publicly embarrassing. And I hate the sound of fireworks, and I hate the crowds. I sound just like my dad, but it's true. I hate all of it. It could just not be a thing. Like, can it not be a thing? But the problem is in Utah, there are two fucking 4th of Julys. There's the 4th and then there's the 24th to celebrate Momo's coming over. Like, whoop-de-fucking-do. But they do the whole thing over again. They do fireworks and everything. I hate it. So anyway, after the fireworks on the 4th, like I knew it was done for. Like, he was done for. Because Flemith is the most timid cat. If he hears like a delivery guy knock on the door, he would be under the bed for 2 hours. Like, very traumatized cat. Like, if any cat could make it in the wild, it's not him. There was one night about a week after the 4th, and I'm still just, I mean, I was just broken. Like, I thought for sure that my son and my husband were going to leave next. Like, my dad had left and my cat had left, and I was just waiting for the next fucking disaster to strike. Yeah, on the way to work, I saw this gray, fuzzy animal on the road, and I was, because I like I said, I live next to a main road, and the speed limit's like 55, and so I passed it, and I was like, oh my God, was that Flemith? And so I called Derek and had him and Alan go drive by it and look, and it was not Flemith. It was maybe, I think they said maybe a coyote pup or a fox pup. We also live next to a wilderness, which doesn't help a cat's chances. So in July, in the heat of July, the one last ditch thing that I did that I was like, okay, I'm going to go all out and look for him is we have this beautiful like nature trail around a pond, maybe 2 miles from our house, if that. Beautiful. It's in like I would call it a gully. I don't know what the real geological name for it is. A ravine. It's like way fucking deep down. Like, you have to go down to get to it. But it's surrounded by houses. Like, it's surrounded by suburbs. Ender and I went on a walk. The whole time I was just looking for him and looking for him and looking. And it was like something was just telling me if he was going to make it, he was there. He was in that, like, safe haven of wilderness. Even though he has literally never been outside the house more than a little bit of time with me out there with him. I couldn't even go back to the nature area after that. I spent a lot of time. I was looking forward to taking Ender there all summer, but just thinking that Flemith was out there and had died, I didn't even go out there. So fast forward, I've given up hope. All hope is lost. Some more fucked up shit happened in July. My purse was stolen, and the person who stole it tried to use all my cards. It was a purse that I won in a pinup contest. I was so goddamn mad. I know it's materialistic, but it's like a violation of privacy when somebody just digs through your shit. The next tragedy happened in September. Actually happened on mine and Alan's anniversary, that his brother passed away in a motorcycle accident. That may have been the worst of 2020, like I think it was. You know, it was 2020, like everybody knew everything was terrible and awful and it sucked, and what the fuck do you do? We were less than prepared for Halloween because of all of these things and the rest of it. We decided to just do a little bit of neighborhood trick-or-treating, and so we half-assed dressed up. It was really nothing special. Alan had most of his costume already. Mine was, I did Reno from Final Fantasy VII, and I've always wanted to do him and do like the face tape and like masculinize myself, and I did it, and I'm just as hot as I thought I would be as a man. We went out trick-or-treating, but because the whole group was together, my whole little like tribe gang that I have at home, we were like, well, let's go take some pictures. It would be really cool to have like family Halloween, and this nature trail, of course, at the time is a perfect place to take spooky pictures because trees, leaves, scary photos. We went down there and took some pictures and had a good time, and I still had that like nagging feeling in my like soul of just like, Flemith, where are you? Like, you've got to be here. And I just never gave up hope, you know, because I never saw his body, so it was like, well, maybe he's ascended into spirit cat. Well, that weekend after Halloween, we were scheduled to get a huge snowstorm. That was the moment that I had been dreading all year, because a cat can survive the heat pretty okay as long as they have water, which is really difficult to do when you live in a fucking desert climate. But for a cat who's scavenging to get food in the winter, that's hard. And a part of me knew, like, okay, this snowstorm's coming. He's just have the funeral already. He's dead. I'm sleeping before work one day, and Nikki, I mean, straight out of Resident Evil, like Leon Kennedy fucking SWAT kicks in the door to my room, like, is this Flemith? I had been on so many message boards throughout the year, and every time there was a found animal in the 3 shelters around, a found cat, it got sent to me. And every time I had to look at these poor cats, some of them lost, some of them clearly never had a home, some of them trauma, like, you know, face trauma, and some of them old as fuck. And anyway, seeing all that, I finally had to unsubscribe from those notifications because it was so fucking triggering. Anyway, when Nikki's like throwing her phone at me, I'm just like, there's no way it's Flemith. And I like look at the picture and I'm like, it's Flemith! The app where the guy had posted it, bless Nikki, because I would have never seen it because I don't use that app. Anyway, the guy left his phone number, and so I like fucking broke my fucking hand dialing his number, and I was like, that's my cat, blah, blah, blah. And so he's like, okay, yeah. And so guess what happened? He lives in the area. He walked on this nature trail every day. Every day he took a walk, okay? The day Flemith first showed up on the trail in front of him was the day after we took our pictures on the trail. He said that and again, this is the most timid cat in the world, said that he came out and he was brushing up against him and meowing and being so like lovey, and immediately the guy knew that he must be owned by somebody. And I'm like, Flemith? What? And he said he was really scrawny. I knew I had to feed him, so I just started taking him food every day. And he did this for a week. Flemith doesn't have a collar, by the way. I know I'm a bad owner. His fur was so thick. Every time I put a collar on him, it would give him horrible mats. So the guy was just saying, yeah, he was so... And it's funny because he kept saying she, and he thought Flemith was a girl, and I thought Flemith was a girl for the first year of his life until his balls appeared. That's why he has a girl's name. He's just a very feminine male cat. And he's like, she was just so scrawny and skinny and looked so unhealthy and was so light. And when I took her home, because of the storm... So that was the second thing, is he felt guilty for giving this cat food knowing a storm was on its way. And when the cat kept appearing every day, he was like, okay, I can't just leave this cat out here. Bless you, kind person. You saved my cat's life. I guarantee it. And so he took Flemith home to see if Flemith would merge with his cats, and Flemith did not, which I expected because Flemith hates everything. That's my boy. And so he had taken him to the shelter because he didn't know what else to do, and then made this post. The timing of it, it's like, how is that a coincidence? I mean, I know it is, but just, wow. And I truly believe in my heart that Flemith heard us. I mean, cats have great hearing. He knew every single person in our group. There wasn't many other people out there that day. There was just a few here and there. But to hear all of us, our group at once, I feel like that's when he, emerged. Because the guy had been walking on that trail every day and never saw him until the day after Halloween. And just that sense that I had that Flemith was there. You can call me full of shit. I don't care. Nervous systems intuit other nervous systems. And I believe that I knew somehow that he was there. Well, he ended up staying in the shelter over the weekend. And then when I got off work, I was able to... They had already gotten him from the shelter for me, so he was home when I came home from work. And I don't know how he responded to the others because I didn't see, his initial first reaction. But when he heard my voice, he like leapt down out of his perch and just collapsed. And I like collapsed on top of him and cried. And again, this cat's not a friendly cat. He doesn't ask for pets. He doesn't really meow at you. He's fine just being in the same room as you and you not touching him. Very like Maine Coon behavior. Was just collapsed and was like, he was pushing into me so hard, it was like he was trying to merge our bodies together to be one organism. That is the definitive, because when he was in surgery, a similar thing happened where I came to his little like oxygen chamber window and I knew that he knew who I was. Like I knew that he was like, okay, this safe person is here. That day when we both wallowed around on the ground together crying, like that solidified for me that he loves me as much as I love him. Again, you can call me crazy cat lady, I don't fucking care. And now he's like a fucking big show around the house because this like goofy ass terrified babied coddled cat survived in a who knows what war stories he had over those months. That's my happy story for today. I hope that you like it. I needed to get some feel-good hormones before I start this awful podcast. So yeah, thanks for listening. Bye.